I'm going to start getting set up. Again, I'm home, obviously. I'm going to use my beach towel instead of a mat. And I've grabbed a cushion off my sofa to use as a bolster. And I also have a couple of blankets, a couple of throw pillows, a couple of towels. And you'll find you can use as much or as little as you want for a restorative class. It kind of just goes by how much you need to make yourself feel nice and comfortable and supported in your poses. I'm going to take a chance and go ahead and roll up my blanket. Oh, I forgot my other blanket. Hang on. I'll roll this one up. Again, like if you've had a massage, you know how we use a bolster and massage for under your knees. That can be really nice for some of these restorative poses we'll get to later as well. Okay. You can always use blankets to cover up as well. You might get a little chilly because when we do restorative yoga, our parasympathetic nervous system really kicks in and lowers our body temperature. So we might find we feel cooler. So having a blanket handy just to cover up with can be nice. Just a reminder, if you weren't here for the last class, we're going to start with a little bit of warming up, some gentle stretching, some breath work. We'll move into the restorative poses. We get into the poses, it takes a little time to get into them because we are bolstering and bracing ourselves. And we're going to hold these poses for several minutes, probably 6 to 8 minutes in most cases. And just let your body sink into it, let the joints open and relax. So it's not an active form of yoga. I wanted to do this tonight because we are halfway through our fitness challenge. It's a good time to pause, reflect, relax, and just chill out and get ready for the next half. I have a washcloth that I will forget to use, but you can always use to cover your eyes whenever you want to. I'll forget, but you don't have to forget just because I do. I have a chair here that I might use as well for legs on a chair. I can also do a constructive rest pose instead of that. So it's really up to you if you'd like to have a chair or not. So tonight I'm wearing my Batman shirt because in the yogic philosophy, the idea of the true self, we might call it the soul, is called the Atman, A-T-M-A-N. So when I wear my Batman shirt, that's B-A-T-M-A-N. It reminds you to be Atman, to be your true self. Namaste. Yes, I did that. All right, let's start in a comfortable seated position. You might want to sit on a blanket to get your hips up off the floor. It might be more comfortable. It might also help you get your hips more level with your knees. I like to sort of shift my weight from side to side and ground down to those hip bones, trying to distribute the weight equally between my two hip bones. Stacking the spine tall, rolling our shoulders up and back and down, lifting the sternum, shining the chest forward. We can just rest our hands on our legs. Sometimes we say the palms can be up to receive energy, or palms can be down to ground us. Whatever feels better for you, for your wrists, for your arms is fine. Let's take a moment and gently close our eyes. Bring awareness to the breath, just to observe the inhales and exhales of the breath. Let's take a centering breath tonight. That will be 2 normal breaths, and then a deep inhale and a big exhale through the nose, and then repeat. So 2 normal breaths. A deep inhale, a big exhale. and repeat 2 normal breaths. Continue at your own pace for a couple of rounds of breaths. Just learning to bring awareness and focus to your breathing. The next time you finish a cycle of your centering breath, just return to normal breath with the lips sealed, breathing in and out through the nose. We'll take a moment, if we wish, to set an intention for our practice, whatever we wish to focus on in our practice this evening. If you don't have an intention, I would like a suggestion. I'm offering growth as a theme for tonight's practice. So we're in a troubling time, but it is also an opportunity for growth, to come through it perhaps wiser, perhaps stronger, perhaps more compassionate, to see an opportunity here. Let our eyes gently open. We can switch the cross of our legs. Again, stacking the spine, lifting the sternum. We can inhale to lift up and exhale to press down, keeping the shoulders down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to press. Inhale to lift. Exhale to press. Now just the right arm, inhale up and over, a gentle side bend. And exhale back down. Left arm, inhale up and over. Exhale back down. Inhale right. Exhale down. And lift. And back down. So take an owl pose now. We'll sweep the right hand behind us and prop ourselves up nice and tall. Now before we turn, we start by placing the left hand on the right leg. And we inhale tall, lengthening the spine. Now as we exhale, take our gentle twist. So mobilizing the spine a bit here. Inhaling tall, exhaling to turn. Not too forcefully. And relaxing back to center. Now sweeping the left hand behind us, bringing the right hand to the left thigh, inhaling tall before we turn. Now exhaling as we twist. Each time we inhale, we try to lengthen the spine a little bit more. As we exhale, we deepen the twist, perhaps even looking over the shoulder. And relaxing back to center. Let's bring our hands to our thighs for a seated cat-cow. We'll inhale to lift the chest. We'll exhale to scoop the abs. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale, lift and expand. Exhale, closing up. Inhale, expand. Exhale, come back down. Coming back to neutral. Let's come forward onto our hands and knees. You're always welcome to put a blanket under your knees. We're going to thread the needle here. Let's do a couple of rounds just of lifting and lowering. Let's inhale the right arm into the air and exhale back, reaching under the body. Inhaling to lift and open. Exhaling to reach under the body. Inhaling to lift. This time as we exhale, reach right on through. Bring your right shoulder down and your right temple to the mat or floor. Gently twist. You can keep your left hand where it is. You can press a little harder into the floor, that left hand, to deepen your twist if you like. You can also slide your left arm forward and open up that right side body to the left side body a little bit. Breathe and sink into it. Let's bring that left hand back under the shoulder. Inhale the right arm back up into the air. Exhale back down. Pause for a breath. On the next inhale, we'll lift the left arm up. We'll exhale, sweeping it under. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, sweeping it under. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to sweep it under, threading the needle, bringing that shoulder down, resting the temple. Again, options. You can place the hand and just press a little harder into the floor if you like. You don't have to press at all if you don't want to. You can also slide that right arm forward, getting more opening in the right side. Inhaling and exhaling deeper into the stretch. We can use a sinking breath here. We inhale, maintaining our position. On the exhale, we sink a little deeper, remembering that the exhale is when our parasympathetic nervous system really kicks in, helps us relax and sink deeper. Now bringing that right hand back under the shoulder, we're inhaling the left arm back into the air, exhaling it down to the mat. Sit back on our heels and catch our breath. Let's move into our first restorative pose. I'm going to give you some options. The main pose I'm going to start with is the Baddha Konasana, the bound ankle pose, the butterfly pose. But I'll give you some variations if you don't feel like doing that one for any reason. So, bound ankle pose, we have the soles of our feet together. Our feet are about the distance of our foot from our torso. And to make this restorative, I'm going to grab my makeshift bolster. Now, you could use a pile of stuff in your lap. You could just keep piling stuff up here. That's fine. We're trying to keep the spine fairly aligned, not rounding over too much. So one way to achieve that is to take a cushion or a bolster on end and rest your forehead on it. So you can find whatever works for you. Now, other options here would be a forward fold, which you could do sitting against your couch. You don't need to be against your couch, of course, because it's primarily a leaning forward pose. Again, we can stack things up here. Or we can split the baby in half and do a wide leg forward fold, again, with the head on the bolster or cushion. So again, I'm going with Baddha Konasana tonight for more hip opening. If I wanted to, I could also put support under my thighs here. I could put towels or blankets here if I wanted to. I don't want to tonight, but I'm going to rest. So find whatever pose works for you right now. These are all basically a forward bending variation. We're starting with those to build some heat in the body. Find what works. Relax into it. Come back into your breath. Let's begin to deepen our breath. We'll come out of the pose. Next, let's do a more grounding pose on our backs. And the choices I'm giving you today are, as I mentioned, constructive rest or legs on a chair. You could also do legs up the wall if you wanted to. Oh, remind me to use this. So, if I don't have a chair, or I just prefer constructive rest, I'll show you a towel trick first. I can unroll my towel to make a little bit smaller roll to rest the back of my neck on, which I'm going to do right now. You can play with this once you've got it in place. You can roll it more or pull it out more to get a nice fit where it just gives you nice, comfortable support for your neck. If we're doing constructive rest, we're on our backs. There we go. I like to put my feet a little wider than my hips so my knees can fall inward. I feel nice and supported. I adjust whatever I have to adjust. I might slide my shoulder blades down or slide my sacrum down and find a nice comfortable position where I can lie comfortably and rest. If I feel like my legs are kind of wobbly, I don't feel secure, I feel like they could fall in or out, and I want some more stability, I can wrap a blanket or a towel around my legs as well, just to make them feel more stable. So that's constructive rest. Now the variation would be legs on the chair, which is upper body is all about the same here. But I'm going to pull my chair in and just put my legs up on the chair. So whichever you like, with or without the chair. And then I told you to remind me, I can put my washcloth. If I had an eye pillow, well, I do have an eye pillow, but I'm not using it tonight. If you have an eye pillow, you can use an eye pillow. And just sink into your breath. Really feel your body grounding into the floor. So there's no effort at all to support any part of your body weight. Just release it and relax and breathe. If you need to make adjustments as you go along, of course, that's always allowed. It's encouraged. And again, we deepen our breath, bring awareness back to the body. If you have your eyes covered, you might uncover them now. If our legs are on the chair, we'll slowly and carefully bring them down to the floor. Together, we'll begin to sit up. Our next pose we'll be doing on two sides. So we'll do it on one side, then we'll repeat. I'll move my clock so I can see it. This is a supported twist. And we'll need our bolster or cushion. And that's the only thing we have to have. We might want to elevate the far end a little bit. And you'll be playing with this as we go along to see what's more comfortable for you. You might also want something to put between your knees when you come into the pose. So maybe just a rolled up towel for that. So again, it's a supported twist. We'll be starting with from a kneeling position at the end of our bolster. And I can have this towel handy, or I can put it between my legs if I want to. I'm going to inhale nice and tall and exhale to turn toward my bolster. So I'm trying to get my chest and stomach down, but my head can stay turned to one side. And again, I just want to feel supported. If I need to raise my bolster more or pile more stuff on top of it, blankets, pillows, whatever I have, that's always an option. It should be comfortable. It's a very gentle twist. It's something you, again, are just melting into and relaxing. We can close our eyes. We can breathe and sink deeper. We're going to switch sides now. So slowly and deliberately, we'll press ourselves back up to our seated position. We'll turn around. Again, we're kneeling at the bottom of our bolster. Option to put a towel between your thighs. We inhale, stacking the spine tall. And we exhale to turn, folding down onto the bolster, trying to bring the stomach and chest down, but letting the face turn out to the side. And breathing and relaxing and sinking. Deepening our breath, opening our eyes, more deliberately pressing ourselves back up. That's a nice, gentle twist. Let's do another forward folding pose this time. This is a one leg pose, so we'll be switching sides again. This is the supported head to knee pose. This is the Janu Shirsasana pose. So taking either leg forward, we'll bring the opposite foot to the inside of the thigh. We can sit on a blanket. We can put a rolled up towel under that straight leg, only because we don't want to lock the knee out completely, and we're going to be leaning forward in a moment. So if you feel like you want to have a towel there to keep the leg from locking out, that's perfectly fine. And then we can pile up bolsters, cushions, whatever we want to use. Get whatever height we'd like to have here. And we'll simply lean forward. What we're after is a very, very gentle hamstring stretch. So just breathe. Use that sinking breath to inhale and exhale. Use as much bolstering and padding as you would like to make it comfortable. You do want to sustain this for several minutes. Deepening our breath. On an inhale, we'll sit up. We'll prepare to switch sides. So the other leg comes out. Foot comes to the inner thigh. You have the option to place that towel under your leg so you don't lock out your knee. And we'll put our stack of stuff back on our legs. We'll inhale and exhale and sink back into a supported head to knee pose. Remember, if you need to add more cushions or take anything away during the pose, that's absolutely fine. You should feel supported and grounded and relaxed throughout. Deepening our breath. Inhaling to rise back up. We've got one more pose this evening. I'm going to give you options. We will not need our cushions or our bolsters for this one. we might need rolled up blankets, possibly towels. I'm going to do your choice of either a traditional Shavasana, which can include a towel under your neck as I described earlier, could include a blanket bolster under your knees as I described earlier, or we can also do a fish pose, a supported fish pose, which is a more heart-opening pose. So I'm going to go into the fish pose. Just understand that if you want to do Shavasana, just don't use the bolster I'm putting under my rib cage. So I'm going to roll up my towel a little bit for my neck here. I hope that I can find that later when I need it. And I am going to use 2 rolled up blankets. One for my rib cage and one for my knees. So, and I have to adjust because I have someone stealing the show here. I'm going to put one rolled up blanket under my knees and one rolled up blanket kind of just on the lower ribs, kind of just below the armpit, and the lie back. Ease yourself down onto your elbows. Adjust as you need to. Not too far to my sofa. So I've got my fish pose with my bolster under my shoulder blades here. So I have a nice opening of the chest. I'm going to roll up my towel to support my neck a little bit here. So that all the bolsters and towels are optional for Shavasana. And for fish pose, the only thing you really have to make it supported fish pose is this one rolled up towel, or blanket rather, under your rib cage. So make whatever adjustments to make you feel the most comfortable. And then relax. Let your eyes close. If you have that washcloth, go ahead and put that over your eyes. And come back to your breath. And take a few moments to relax and let go of any stress. Feel the weight of your body pull to the ground, and yet feel light. Inhaling and feel that your body becomes lighter. Exhaling and feeling gravity take over. With each movement, each breath, you let go and start to relax. Letting each breath be a wave of relaxation over you. Starting to relax each muscle as you go. Start to surrender your muscles from the crown of your head and down through the entire head, and then encircling the eyes and moving downward around the jaw. Breath by breath, continue to move down into the neck and the shoulders. Continuing down the body, releasing and relaxing as you go. Next, the releasing and relaxing muscles in your shoulders and arms, and down and out to the hands and all of the fingers. Letting go of any of the remaining stress or tension, softening with each and every breath a bit more, relaxing a little more. Continuing by inhaling and exhaling and relaxing your chest, back, abdomen, and lower back. Now relaxing into the hips, releasing and grounding. Let the tension melt into the earth. Breathing slowly and feeling your legs relaxing, Surrender the muscles in your upper legs and thighs, moving down behind the knees and encircling the kneecaps, and moving the breath into the lower legs. Let the stress fall away from your calves and finally from your ankles, feet, and out your toes. Your body is completely relaxed, completely at peace. Your mind is completely relaxed, completely at peace. Your heart is completely relaxed, completely at peace. There is no place like right now at this very moment, and you savor it. Coming back into the body, coming back into your breath, perhaps rocking your head from side to side, wiggling fingers and toes, and then bending our knees and planting our feet, removing any blankets or towels as necessary. Planting our feet wider than our hips so that our knees are falling inward. We can sway our knees from side to side. And we can roll onto one side, stacking our hips, stacking our shoulders, resting the head on the arm. Still with eyes closed, still breathing, still enjoying this moment of calm. And then when you're ready, with as little effort and as much ease as possible, come back to a comfortable seated position. And bringing our hands to heart center, reflecting on whatever intention we had for this evening's class. Taking a moment to appreciate this time together. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. Namaste. I hope